Hello, everyone, and welcome to It's Not That Deep podcast, episode 1.
Hello, everybody. Every week, we are going to be discussing various topics that range from influencers, celebrity gossip, and internet trends. Sometimes it'll be truly not that deep. Other times, we will open up a serious discussion on the consequences to the behaviors we are witness to.
Yes, and today we kind of have like a mix of both things. We have a little bit of an update, and ultimately it's episode 1, so be nice because
Yes.
it's episode 1. Just saying.
Yeah.
If you can't tell by our complete chaos. Are we starting with the update, the Rachel update?
I think so.
Might as well. Okay. So, for those that don't know, like a quick little overview, she is a mommy vlogger who really is a terrible exploiter,
Mhm.
especially in regards to her disabled son who has cerebral palsy and is in a wheelchair. And recently, he had a big accident and she monetized the entire thing and got called out for it. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a
Tiny
little
bit.
bit. And I would go so far as to say this is her first cancellation. What about you?
I'm honestly shocked that it is her first one. This isn't the first kind of video that they've done this.
No.
I was watching some other people that covered them, and, like, I didn't even realize how bad some of their thumbnails and titles were. I'm
Yeah.
surprised this is the first real thing.
Yeah, we've both covered it on our other channels, so we'll have those linked down in the description box. But
Mm.
I feel like because it was so graphic, the things she showed him in the hospital and getting a CT scan and just like close ups of his face, and he was all swollen and stuff. Like I said, we covered it. Go check out those videos; it'll go over everything. But the big news is that she has tried to rebrand. This is the best way you could say it. She changed the name, changed her bio, and deleted the last 3, 4 videos on the accident. And she's
Yeah.
essentially trying to control the narrative of what happened. Do you think it's gonna work?
I know whenever I was doing the video, I said, honestly, looking at her content, if you go back to the beginning, I feel like her intention was not to be a family vlogger. It was to be an influencer, and it didn't work. And so something tells me what she's likely going to do is she's going to step back and not really be doing family vlogging. And then she's going to see that that's not going to work. And the views aren't going to be there because they weren't there 5 years ago or 3 years ago. So why would they be there now? Even if you go to any of her videos in the past year, if she's in the thumbnail and the son isn't, the views are so different. They're so
It's
much
true.
lower.
It's
So
true.
most likely, I think history is just going to repeat itself. She's going to try and she's going to realize it's not enough to keep up with the lifestyle that she wants. It would probably be enough to keep up with like a decent lifestyle, but not the lifestyle that she's used to. So then she's going to slowly start bringing him back in. It's just going to be the same thing over and over
Yeah,
again.
I think so too. I think she's going to lay low for a little while and then just rebrand from there.
Yeah.
Just hold on 2 seconds. 6 minutes lasted longer than I thought before we got disturbed. Not bad, not bad.
Oh, oh, that isn't bad at all. We're doing good on time, honestly.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing all right. We got connected, so we'll see how the
Yeah.
recording turns out. But yeah, what we were saying about Rachel, I agree with you. I think that she is going to try and do the fitness influencing and
Yeah.
like you were saying, Kara, if you go back a couple years, she was trying to do the fitness and the beauty routines and stuff. And
Mhm.
then her story about the car accident went viral
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's what she latched onto. And if you take a look at the thumbnails, they're all horrific.
They all are, and I have no idea if it's true. But I almost wonder if someone did get called to the house, and so they're under some sort of investigation, and they're telling them, like, "You need to take that stuff down,"
Yeah.
like, legally. But the internet's forever. Everyone covered her who's in this space on YouTube.
Yeah.
If she truly does, like, stop, good for her, but I just don't see that happening.
No, I don't see it either. And I think that her erasing all of them, sure, she could have been told that it was the best thing to do. Maybe they talked to a lawyer, even. But I
Yeah.
think that she's really trying to control the narrative. Oh my gosh, my camera. I
I was
think
gonna
it's
say, I
the
don't know if that's
wire. I think it's the wire. And I even put a thing in there. But yeah, I think she's trying to control the narrative and pretend that it didn't happen, especially because she left the
yeah.
bullying video up for however long. It's down now. She took it down now.
The one where she said that Beckham will love me more than you guys? That
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, that
Oh,
one.
I thought that was so weird. Like, I was like, "Lady, I don't want Beckham to love me." I don't think most people do except for their weird followers who are, like, way too invested, but the average person's like, "No, that's not what it's about."
That's
Like,
not
that's
what
weird
it's
that you
about.
even worded it that way.
Yeah, I agree. It's not at all what it's about, and it's just you miss the point. And someone told me, a commenter on my community post, I think, said,
Mhm.
"Google the Streisand effect and what that means." And do you know what the Streisand effect is?
I didn't at all, but last night I was like, "I don't know what that is," and then I ended up Googling it, and I was like, "Yeah, that's I could see that."
Yeah, so basically the Streisand effect is when someone tries to control the narrative or suppress it, and it does the opposite and brings more attention to the situation, which I think is exactly what's happening right now.
Like I said, I'm really not sure how this is their first time. It's like nothing clicked until this time for whatever reason.
Yeah,
But also I think the reason was because she was super mysterious about it. She's like, "It's no
yeah.
one's fault." It's like, what?
It couldn't have been prevented.
Yeah,
And then she takes
yeah.
away his wheelchair for years, like, no.
And then she went and was like, "You guys misunderstood it." Like, who misunderstood it? Like, you literally said it was going to be going away until you guys moved. And then it's
Yeah,
like, "No, we were the wrong ones." Like, I
yeah.
don't know what you meant by that.
No, that doesn't work that way, and that's why she deleted it all.
I think honestly, Hunter, that's the husband's name, I believe, right? Hunter.
Yeah,
He isn't getting enough flack for this. Like, I feel like in these situations, it's always in the mom, but it's like he is doing these too. Like, he's okaying this. He's in the videos. Like,
he's
why is
consenting to
she?
it.
Exactly. I just hate in those situations where it's like both parents should be held just as accountable because it's like he's
Yeah.
clearly okay with all the videos and he's okay with the lifestyle that they have, yet it's always on the women.
If you look at the Frankie case
Yeah.
and everything that came out about them with Kevin being manipulated and being type B personality, the man submitting to the wife, it could very well be the same situation. Not saying that that's what's going on in their home,
No.
but just whatever, it's not that bad, doesn't realize it's that bad until it's, that bad.
It honestly reminds me of the whole college admission scandals. If you guys remember that, do you remember that? With like Lori Laughlin, her daughter Olivia. She like forged papers for
I
college to go
believe
to
it.
UCLA,
I believe it.
and she ended up going to prison for it, and so did like other celebrities. But the husbands, who are also like very famous, didn't go, and like they didn't get any of the slack, but like they knew what was going on.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Hunter deserves to be called out as well. I don't know. I just fear that he didn't realize how bad it was. Kind of like the Abby Fickley thing with her
Yeah.
ex, because everyone gets
Hmm.
really harping on him, like, oh, you posted M online too. And it's like, well,
Hmm.
yeah, fair, but the content was really different. There's a stark difference between the content that
Hmm.
Bobby posted with M and the content that Abby posted with M. With him not being online, seeing the predatory things, you don't know what you don't know
Hmm.
until you know, you know?
Yeah. I feel like with
Let
the
me try and
whole,
fix my
and I know it's
wire.
like,
Keep talking.
okay. I feel like with that whole situation, I know it's a different topic. I differ a bit because I do feel like he was in Abby's videos. They were very buddy buddy. And
True.
I don't know, like as a parent, wouldn't you be like looking at the comments and just kind of keeping a bit of tabs on it? Like to me, yeah, he might not have known, but also like in this day and age, don't we kind of all have some idea of what's on the internet and what the dangers of the internet are? And my thing is, I genuinely feel like he was just getting a little bit salty about not making the money and having to live at his mom's house. The key piece of information on that one that I want to know that would really make all the difference is, did he go to Abby ever about this, or did he directly go to the
Yes.
Dad Challenge podcast to make that comment? Was that like his last resort? Like he was trying and trying and trying? Because the way she says it is like she was completely blindsided. So,
So you wanna
and he
know?
hasn't
Wanna know
commented
what?
on what?
I have the first petition papers,
Mhm.
and I believe it does say that he tried to approach her.
Really?
Yes. So hold on, I'll get it pulled up because I agree. That makes a huge difference because being blindsided like that, like
Yeah.
I wouldn't be okay with that. We
No.
are off on an Abby Fickley tangent now. It happens. Mother posted, uploaded, and or shared thousands of images and videos of MH.
Is this on, like, Reddit, or, like, where'd you get this stuff?
Yeah, it got sent to me on
Oh,
Reddit.
wow. Does it say, though? Like, does it say that he made attempts.
Okay, so I'm getting there. So apparently, she recently told dad that she has her own account on YouTube currently with 38,000 followers. So do you think that
Maybe.
means that he didn't know that she even created their 10-year-old a YouTube channel? M
Like,
told
Abby
him?
didn't ask him.
Yeah. That's
Hmm.
wild. Okay,
It
so
is,
YouTube
yeah.
does not permit children under 13 to create their own YouTube channels or accounts. Father is very concerned about safety, well-being, as well as the psychological issues that the party's 9-year-old is being exposed to. Father's Council approached Mother's Council with father's concerns, and Mother's Council advised father also posted the child on TikTok. That's such a logical fallacy. Oh, well, you did it, so he also
So
has the right to change his mind.
but was this after the comment or before the comment?
I don't know, there's no dates.
That's just, like, what
Oh,
I wanna
here.
know.
I don't really have dates other than he stopped posting her on this date.
Yeah. It just would make a difference, you
It
know?
would, because that's really gross to be blindsided like that. That's one thing that I do agree with Abby with is, like, if he went to DCP and commented on that first and been like, "Hey, if you want the tea, like,
Yeah.
reach out." If
Mhm.
that happened
Yeah.
first before he attempted to say, "Hey, I'm not comfortable with this,"
There's just a lot of stuff I don't think we're ever gonna know because I feel like at this point, there's
100%.
there's lawyers involved. Like, once there's lawyers involved, we're not gonna hear about it. But I think the best thing at the end of the day is just that she is offline. That's why I'm like, there's no point in continuing to hate on her because it's just like
No.
and people are like, "Well, she's doing it because it's court orders." Like, okay, but nonetheless, like, I feel like it's done, you know? Like,
Is
the
she
truth.
really that problematic that you need to continue to hate on her? Like, I understand there's different speculations, none of which can be
Yeah.
corroborated, and it's like, is that a
Mhm.
reason to, like, go so hard as to can is it that deep? I don't think it's
It's
that
not that
deep.
deep.
So it's like,
It's
unless she
not.
does something super problematic, the most problematic thing with her was that.
Yeah.
And I heard that
Yeah.
she was kind of a bully, but I mean,
In high school or
yeah, like,
yeah.
kinda super toxic, but, I mean, if she's not blatantly bullying her followers or, like,
It's
people
like
are
she's
coming
almost
out and
30
being like
now.
yeah, exactly.
I just think at the end of the day, there's worse out there than Abby Bickley. I'll just say, like, I think there's a lot worse,
100%.
and I just
Especially
think
now
the
that she took M
energy
down.
yeah, like, I just think the energy could be better shifted elsewhere, and
Yep,
I was just never for all the hate on her. I think, like, yeah, get Em offline, like, that was definitely needed, but at the end of the day, like, Abby's not posting her, like, she's still making content, and I said this from the beginning, I truly feel like Abby has a good enough story and like I think you even said in one of your videos like she's a
yep,
public
I did.
speaker like she knows what she's doing
Yep.
she has like her own individual thing that like M never needed to be part of the show
No.
so I think she'll be
No,
okay.
but it made her bank, so and that's the
It did.
really sad part about most family vloggers is that it's all about the money. They end up
Yeah.
not caring about their children's well-being and mental health, and
Mhm.
especially with everything coming out with books and Disney kids growing
Yeah.
up and family vlogger kids growing out of it. It's just like there's no excuse for it anymore.
No, there's literally none. One of these days we're going to have to read our comments to the audience. Some of the people that try to justify. We won't say names of the comments, but like how
No.
people justify it and how we
Oh,
are the
100%.
villains.
Yeah, 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 100%. I
It's
love hate
funny.
comments. They're the
Yeah.
best. They're so
We send
funny.
them to each other and we're just like, what is this?
What is this? How much
Yeah.
Kool-Aid has this person drank?
They're drunk on it. It's too much.
Drunk on it. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to move on to our first topic of discussion?
Yes. Are we doing the more heated one or the lighthearted one?
Are we back?
Okay, you're better now. It like froze completely for a second and lagged. Yeah, I think you're back. We're good?
We're good. Are you good?
Okay.
Am I
Yes.
moving? Jazz
Yes.
Today, we're going to be talking about TikToker Allie Rae, who also recently got canceled. So that's fun. Do you know anything about this story or just kind of like the tidbits that I told you?
I just know like what she did and why people were really upset.
Yeah, fair enough.
And that's a good
So,
reason to be canceled. Just
yes,
gonna, you know.
absolutely. And some of
Yeah.
her videos that I'm going to show you right now did not age well. They really not even a little bit.
Mm,
So, Ali Ray is or technically was a TikToker. I believe she was mostly like a live stream TikToker. Do you, like Adriel Sigler and Trevino or whatever her name
ugh.
is. And
Yes.
her account, not Allie Rae, has since been deleted because she
Yes.
decided that it was a good idea to unplug her baby's oxygen monitor, the SpO2 monitor, not her oxygen, just to be very
Yeah.
clear, in order to get the nurses to come quicker, thinking that it was an emergency, thinking that her baby was crashing.
Yeah.
So that's good. Before we get into some of the stuff that she did, I want to show you guys this kind of peek into her brain and her mentality a little bit. Okay?
Mhm.
Are you ready for this?
Okay.
Okay, let me know if you can hear this.
There's some people that you just can't cancel, and I feel like I'm one of them. I have more supporters than I have haters.
So that was just kind of a small little peek into her mentality. So she's one of those people, obviously a rage baiter.
Hannah Hyatt?
There's just no way. There's no way that this isn't rage bait. And she thinks she can't be canceled. And here she is with a deleted TikTok account and she has been pushed off of the internet. So
Didn't Hannah Hyatt make a video that was like, you can't cancel me. You cannot cancel me. And then,
yeah,
bye.
nobody can be canceled unless they want to be or something like
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Canceling's not a thing. You know that, right?
It's the comments turned off for me.
Cancel. The word cancel to me on social media is the funniest thing ever.
And her now privated IG account,
It's not a thing. You realize that, right?
as well as her husband's now privated IG account.
Do you guys not have real problems? Who the frick cares? Why are we bullying people over something so stupid? Do you guys not have real problems? Or jobs? Or school? Or family? Or kids? Or responsibilities?
Just to be clear, this is an old video, but I thought it was interesting. Hannah thinks people can't be canceled.
They were so worried about pajamas. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. That's all it is.
Hey, Hannah, here's another thought. If you don't want kids, stop having them.
She totally did. She totally did. The
Mhm.
most terrible people on the planet Earth. So this is obviously problematic for a ton of reasons. Like I was telling you a bit off camera, this hits close to home. My first was a preemie. She was a micro preemie. We were in the NICU for 2.5 months. And to think that someone would do this, a mother would do this to just get the nurse's attention when it wasn't an emergency, it's beyond me. I just can't believe the entitlement. So, are you ready for the first excuse of, why she unplugged her baby's
Let's see it.
monitor?
Yeah, let's see it.
She's just the worst.
Total trash.
No, you're fine. It's not an emergency. Oh. I just was gonna see if you could bring me a turkey sandwich.
So, for those of you that can't hear, she just kind of whispered to the nurse, I was just going to see if you could bring me a turkey sandwich.
And the nurse is like, like she literally went,
I'm telling you, the seething rage that would be coming out of my face if I was the nurse that answered that call I don't know how this nurse contained herself, but we'll keep watching.
They have them in the nourishment right there.
They have them at the nursery.
I'm supposed to eat anymore, but I mean, do it. That's what I really want. Oh, yeah.
So basically the nurse said, well, you're not really supposed to eat in here, to which she tries to push and say, well, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet.
Do you want to go take a break and then come back? I could. It's just I put her in there and she got really upset. Oh, she did? Yeah. Well, she has about another hour till she eats. We could bundle her and take a break. Yeah, can we do that? I didn't know this was drinks right there? Yeah, I mean, really, we should try to keep it under control because people kind of make a mess. Yeah, so where would I eat at? You go outside and get some fresh air. Girl, it is too cold. But yeah, if you feel like taking a break. Yeah, I'm just hungry.
That's basically it. And then after that, she secretly films this whole interaction between her and the nurse talking about the baby's upcoming feed and if she's going to be there and stuff like that. And it's just like the nurse was basically saying, no, there's no eating in the NICU. go take a break.
And you can speak from experience of this. Like, what do you do in the situations?
Oh, I don't even know what I would do. Like working this situation, I don't know what I would do. But to my understanding, the nurses had no idea that she was unplugging the monitor and plugging it back in to summon them to her. And I don't know why she didn't use a call bell or the phone or anything, because from the quick clip that I saw of her baby is on oxygen. So that needs to be monitored, and it needs to be monitored carefully. And babies can crash really fast. It's scary. And if this is constantly happening, well, we're looking at potentially a boy who cried wolf situation. And then what?
Yep.
In a real emergency.
My best guess would be that it's all for rage bait. I feel like otherwise, why was she filming it? Like, why was she filming herself asking for a turkey sandwich? Like, she
Because
knew
she's
that was
always
gonna
live in the
get.
NICU.
I don't know. I just feel like it's weird. Like to have it like, yeah, she's always live. Okay, but she had to have known. Like, why didn't she use a little
Call bell because she couldn't reach it. So instead of ending the live, like I said, they film this whole interaction, and then she leaves and she's all like, oh, haha, I'll be back in a bit. And just honestly, the way that those nurses would have roasted her after that request, I'm telling you, is next level. But here's another
for good
example of
reason?
her, for good reason. Absolutely. Here are the other two times that she did that again. Because, of course, she didn't just do it once or twice. She did it 3 times at least that are saved.
We'll do it right now. I'm tangled up, girl. I'm really tangled. Let's wait for it. Because I do
Just
need my
wait for
drinks.
it.
Well, I'm not doing it just to prove a point. I do need my drinks over there, and I can't walk over there because she's hooked up.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, that's. Come on.
I'm not doing it to prove a point. I'm doing it because my drink is over there and I can't walk over there while she's hooked up.
So they're commenting. That's like how she's reading it, right? Because it's a live video.
Yes. Yes.
I got on her back. You guys are so annoying, dude. Like, I can't get my own drink when I'm holding her. And now I'm going to have to stir her up because y'all want to cry about something.
Isn't there like a little bed she can go in, like a little basket?
Yes. Right beside her, presumably.
So she's
I
just
just
lazy.
like, yeah, 100%. 100%. And it's the most frustrating thing. And then the other one is this one. And look how aggressive she is here.
Apparently I'm not allowed to eat. My phone's about to die though, so on that note, I want to see if they have their charger out there. Y'all can be pressed about that. So I'm going to end this and I'm going to unplug this and ask for a charger. Okay? Okay. Don't unplug the baby's cord for a damn sandwich again. What you gonna do if I do? What are you gonna do?
Cancel you?
Yeah, legit. Exactly. And I can't. And the smugness. Then what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? Like, what you gonna do? And it's like, don't do that.
Is there a guy in the picture, or is she just?
I don't think so. Because she
And
makes
this
a
is
comment about how she's doing it all on her own. And the nurses know she's doing it all on her own. So they encouraged her to go take a break.
What do nurses do with patients like that are told time and time again, like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, and they just keep doing it? Like, what do you do as a nurse?
She could have her visitation revoked and not be allowed in the NICU.
Oh.
Because ultimately, as a NICU nurse, your patient is the baby. And if anyone is compromising your patient's care, you have the right to ask them to leave. And in my opinion, she was compromising her baby's care.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, wasting the nurse's time.
Well,
Come
there's other
on.
people who might need help at that time, and they're spending time with
Yeah.
someone who needs a sandwich.
What if a baby was crashing and that nurse was in there because you freaking unplugged your kid because you wanted a charger for your phone because your phone was about to die? Like, it's so disgusting. And for her to say like, oh, well, she gets fussy if I put her down. Yeah, for 3 seconds. And then she'll calm down. That's what babies
calm
do.
down.
It's fine. Just pat her and then go have a sandwich. Like, it's so entitled and disrespectful, in my opinion. I'm so done with rage bait. I'm so done with it.
No, I don't think it's just your opinion. I think it's everyone's opinion, and she was canceled. And I know I saw a lot of videos popping up talking about her, and for good reason. Is she also like one of those kind of TikTok live people that just like begs? You know what I'm talking about? Where they're just like, send me the coins or the roses or the galaxies.
Yeah, I think she has on occasion. I didn't go through all of the receipts and stuff, but I think she has begged on occasion. One thing I want you to see, because I think it's important, I cut it up so that it wasn't so long, but I want you to see this TikTok because I want you to hear what she says towards the end.
It is lonely. Like, nobody's here with me. You know, when people are here with me, then I'm not on live because, you know, I get lonely and it gets quiet. Exactly. I really like that. Build your own platform and have support also. Exactly. I started from the bottom of the barrel. I started with one viewer in here and built my way up. And now I have a lot of love and support, and the more people who love her, the better. And I know that a lot of people on here genuinely do have love for her.
Mm-hmm.
The more people that
So,
love her, the better, as she's talking to TikTok strangers.
so we know what direction she would have went had her TikTok stayed. It would have just been the kid, like
Oh yeah,
family
100%.
TikTok vlogs.
And the fact that she's like saying the more people, oh, it just like it rubbed me the wrong way. So that was just a quick little see where her mentality is clip because
Yeah.
it's gross and that's so dangerous and toxic.
People like that, it's never enough. Like whatever they can do to like stir up drama, like they just love it. They feed off of it. A lot of people get away with it, but then there are certain situations where it's like canceled. But it's funny how they think that they're invincible, like Hannah Hyatt or like this girl making that video. They both made similar type of videos, like you can't cancel me. And it's like, no, it can happen, especially when it comes to like kids, you know? If you really couldn't put her into the bassinet that they have, wait a little bit. Like, my goodness.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like the nurses aren't there to serve you. They're not your servants. It's
Nurses
not.
they're not paid enough, but like I feel like no amount of money is enough because they do so much, but they're not your like maid, you know, like they're not your
No.
cook or your chef or your personal assistant. They're there to assist the baby. They're not even there to assist you, like literally the baby.
Yeah. Exactly. Like you're not our patient, you know? And it's different if she's hooked up to all the wires and stuff. Can you just bring me her bottle warmed up? Because I don't
Yeah.
want to put her down and, you know, I could even be there with that, right? Asking for
Mhm.
something for the baby. But to call the nurse in to ask for a sandwich or to pass you your water, it's just, that's a lot in my brain to handle.
I'm curious now though, like if she's truly canceled and she's not gonna come back, like how I mean that kid's life, I already like feel because if she's already like that kind of mom, it's like I already feel for that kid. She's a preemie, not all preemies obviously, but like there already might be some health issues.
Yeah.
And then you have a mom like her who's clearly selfish and in her own world. So I just like I already feel bad for the baby.
Yeah.
The nurses are probably more loving and caring towards that baby.
Yeah, most likely. And it's really sad. There's a couple more of her just being super aggressive. I won't show both of them, but basically she's clapping back at the trolls and saying like they're threatening to call CPS and CPS won't do anything and they can't do anything. And then goes so far to say like the nurses and I, we laugh about it. We joke about how I'm famous in here and we laugh about it. I'm like, nah, they're not laughing with you.
No.
They're not.
No, they're not.
They're not
No.
laughing with you. Here's the latest update, the latest tea. So this guy is Anthony Blackwell. He was the one who made the turkey sandwich clip go viral. I'm pretty sure.
That name sounds really familiar.
Maybe you'll recognize him. This guy.
Isn't he the guy that was covering Hannah Hyatt stuff? Like he like
Likely.
found all this stuff about her, and I think people were trying to cancel him at one point.
I mean, probably, but a lot of people reach out to him and offer receipts and offer names, stuff like that. So he does the digging. He's the digger. And this was kind of the last update we've got. He did another one, but it didn't really have anything of substance in it.
Remember this video? Allie Rae. Video was up less than an hour and a half. I have an update thanks to a bunch of you that gave me a ton of information, and I couldn't have done it without you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Alexandra Lindsay Hill. I was able to track down the hospital. I started in Canada because that was what was tagged in the video. My mistake. It was actually Webster, Texas. I got in touch with the hospital and actually got in touch with CPS. Here's the reference number. There is an active case being investigated. When I called the hospital, they said that they are on it. So they are going to be working with CPS to get this resolved. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not okay to do what these people are doing. If you're defending this in the comments, are you the same kind of person? Are you the same kind of parent? If you're defending this in the comments, it is not okay. Now, everybody, go out, be good human beings, have some humanity, and have the day you deserve.
Legit, though.
Yeah, no, that's... What was her arrest for?
Theft. But it was like
Oh.
$750 to $2,500 or something like that. It's pretty hefty theft. But yeah.
Yeah. I think it also just sheds light on her as a person. Like her character, her morals, her values probably are not the best.
Probably not. Yeah, some of those clapback videos after she started getting the heat and stuff were really just really gross. But she's canceled for now. I say for now because, again, nobody can be canceled if they don't actually want to be canceled. Maybe she'll just pivot because TikTok is its own breed of humanity and the rest of social media is over there. So she might just pivot, but I don't think people will let her live this down.
I don't either, but I feel like I've never seen anyone truly be canceled except for Micah Stauffer. Because if you think of Colleen Ballinger and what she did,
trying to
I would have thought,
come back.
Well, and even so, like, she's been posting videos for the last year, vlogs, and they get decent views. She's still making money, like decent money. And James Charles, I know he was canceled many times, but he still does his thing. Who else? There's so many people, influencers, who have been canceled, and you would think like, oh, like they're done, and then they still have their audience there. And even with like Micah Stauffer, the husband still makes his car videos. I feel like, what else is she gonna do? You know, like she's not gonna get a job.
No, absolutely not. No.
God forbid. You know, like,
yeah, I know.
yeah.
And it's like all of them who did those influencer confessions when TikTok was shutting down, and you're like,
yeah.
were you just getting off the internet? You weren't gonna pivot, you weren't gonna okay.
Yeah.
Choices were
those
made.
Are weird.
Yeah, some of them were weird.
TikTok, I don't myself use TikTok. I'm not like on there for fun. I just feel like TikTok literally is, not everyone, but it just attracts the worst of the worst type of humans.
I agree.
I'm working on a video right now where it's TikTok beggars, and it's just
perfect.
Wild. Yeah, it's the people, they'll get angry. Like, they'll be on their lives. Like, if you're not going to donate, then get out of my life. They're swearing, and they always have some excuse as to why they're on there. There's black mold in my house. Someone just died. Like it's never.
Yeah.
And they'll sit on there for 4 hours and get mad that no one donated. It's like, you could go work at the grocery store for 4 hours and make some money. I mean, that's a thing.
You could do literally anything else other than waste 4 hours of your life and probably make money somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we got for Allie Rae. It's kind of that.
It's the last time we cover her.
I hope so. But we'll see. We'll see if she uncancels herself, and then maybe we'll talk about her again because she's terrible.
I just feel like there's already so many red flags. It's like
so many. Yeah. Exactly. Shall we move on to our second topic?
Yes.
The teen mom topic.
Which is funny because I feel like whenever me and you first started talking, like teen mom was brought up, like very randomly.
I think so too.
But it's just like, they were just brought up and I was like, especially like the original cast where it's like Macy, Farrah, Catelynn. It came out whenever I was in high school. Same with you, I'm sure, like 9th grade for me. Whenever 16 and Pregnant came out, I would just watch it, and it was so dramatic. And
it's so dramatic.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Same. Yeah, same. It was just the train wreck you couldn't look away from. And now they're all adults because they're like basically the same age as us, which is
yeah, I would say they're the same age. What's weird is that like the kids in the first, like Bentley, and they're like, they could be a teen parent right now. Like, that's how old they are. So it's like so weird to think that they're like 15, 16 years old. And it's like, oh my gosh, I feel really old right now.
Yeah,
I just saw like an article.
We're getting old. We graduated a long time ago.
Long time ago. I feel like I was just thinking about this. Like, I'll sometimes like watch updated clips on Teen Mom just to like once a year. But I feel like the original cast of Teen Mom, like I'll be checking in on them whenever I'm 80. I feel like I grew up with them in a way. Like I don't watch the show anymore, I'm still like, what is Macy up to these days? Like,
what are they doing?
With Amber.
Yeah, exactly. It's very interesting. And I feel like they all had really different dynamics. Seeing you know, where they started and where they ended up now. I think it's interesting.
We could talk about a different one every single week and still have more to talk about. But this week,
100%.
we are going to be talking about Catelynn and Tyler because they have a new podcast coming out, which I don't know much about. I think they just announced it. But the thing we're going to be talking about is just how they'll go and badmouth Carley's, is it like adoptee parents? Like,
Adoptive parents? Yeah, I think so.
yeah, a lot. And they well, actually, there was an article just today saying where Catelynn said that she regrets picking them as the parents, which is really messed up. What did you think whenever you saw that headline?
I think that it's just a super toxic thing to do.
Yeah.
And I think that people need to get friends off of social media and learn what is acceptable to share on social media and what should stay off. But I think that
Yeah.
anytime you're treading the waters of trash
Mhm.
talking a parent of a kid in your life,
Mhm.
I don't think that's the way to go. And I don't understand what their end goal is doing that, saying that. And you know, I've seen all the excuses. Oh, we're doing it to raise awareness and we're sharing our journey. This is our perspective. And it's like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay and all, but you're still trash talking other people and like your kids' parents who are raising her.
Yes.
And I don't
I
think
feel
that
like
it's going to
with
make her feel closer to you at all.
no. And I think they think it is. And I feel like with Caitlin and Tyler, they think that Brandon and Teresa are like temporary babysitters. Like once Carly's 18, like she'll go and like basically like kind of say bye guys and like switch over to them full time and be
Mm.
there in their lives. And it's just not how it works. We have screenshots of text messages that were from I think like 4 months ago. I think it was like end of summertime. Again, why is she airing these things out on the internet? I think she just doesn't know any better at this point, but I think she was expecting people to like side with her and she didn't. But to
Yeah.
set these up, essentially, it's a ton of screenshots of text messages that she was sending to Teresa. And it's just like long text messages about how the day's going. And Teresa never replies back. And then Caitlin says that she ended up blocking her. And yeah, we don't like read through every single text, but she said literally ignored for months and then just blocked. Hurts my heart for all the kids involved, which she means Carly and then her other kids.
Here's what I was alluding to. Yeah, I love how people say that I'm putting them on blast when I'm literally just sharing my own feelings. So that's where I
Yeah.
got it from, right? They're like, "Oh, well, we're just sharing our own experience and stuff." And it's like, but
Mhm.
you're sharing your own experience and simultaneously putting them on blast. And it's like you can
Yeah.
share your experience not at the expense of someone else,
Mhm.
right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm surprised that like they don't have a lawyer that's telling them like stop what you're doing. Like please
Yeah,
stop.
well, and so that's even a topic for discussion. It's like, where are the people on their side telling them, like, stop what you're doing? Dawn has completely failed them. Completely. Their
Yeah.
adoptive agent, whatever,
Yes.
she's failed them and set them up for failure, basically.
She's always been shady, I felt like. Like I
Yeah.
never got a good vibe from her, but also like neither one of their parent sets of parents were like good influences. So you know they don't have like
Yeah.
parental that's like telling them. But yeah, if you look at the text messages,
Yeah,
it's literally like
exactly.
I got like a journal diary type, like someone's like journal dump. You know what I mean? Like it was literally just like, here's what we did today. Here's a video. Here's a picture. And if you scroll through, like it's literally just like paragraphs after paragraphs. And you can see the dates, like it'll be Monday and then Wednesday and Friday and then the next Monday. And essentially, she's just like showing pictures and talking about like what the kids did that day. I saw somebody on Reddit was that's if I was Carly, I'd be like, oh, so you couldn't, take care of me, but here's all the fun stuff you're doing with everyone else. It's just a lot. Like she just didn't get the hint.
This is a lot. There's like, and right here, it's a stack of 6 pictures. And yeah,
Yeah.
here's an example of one of the text messages. Hey, Carly, we are sure missing you. We had a blast yesterday at the lake park with the kids. It was 102 degrees out. We love you. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, to me, it's bragging about all of this stuff. We just got home from our trip to California. It was great
Yeah.
seeing family, but so basically, like, here's all the stuff you missed out on.
It was a lot. It was almost like kind of like secondhand embarrassment. Like, why'd you do it? Like, clearly there's something going on that she's not replying, that Teresa's not replying, and you're just continuing. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
like her way of just being like, well, I'm trying and I'm not getting anything back, but I'm still going to keep trying.
Exactly. And it gets to a certain point where it's like, well, can you stop trying? No, don't stop trying.
Do you remember what their like setup was for the open adoption? Was it like once a year meetups or
So that's what I remembered when
yeah.
they first did the adoption. It was going to be, what was it? Like an open adoption, but basically open communication with a visit once a year. But it was at Brandon and Teresa's discretion. I
Yeah, I
remember
think that's
it.
what I was reading. I think I was also reading on Reddit, someone said that Caitlyn has admitted that like they don't send like birthday cards and stuff. Like they're whenever they're reaching out, it's because they want to meet up. It's not like updates on Carly. It's like, well, here's what we're doing. Love ya. Bye. You know what I mean? Like it's not really actually asking like, how is she doing? Like, how's school going? Nothing like that.
Do you think that there's a possibility that maybe they just like misinterpreted what kind of updates to give? Because I feel like I also saw that where Catelynn was like,
Mhm.
we were encouraged to give updates on our family and how things are going, and
Mhm.
remind Carly that we're still thinking of her. Do you think she maybe just went around it the wrong way, went about it the wrong way, and
I feel like I've
really
read that like
missed the whole like, hey Carly, how are you doing aspect, which is a big
right.
miss, right?
I think that the terms just were never clear. Like
Yeah.
they weren't clear enough. And I feel for Caitlyn and Tyler because how were they supposed to know that shortly after putting their baby up for adoption, they were going to get this money and the ability to take care of her? Like they made it in their. I understand why they made the decision. Like they both had bad home lives, and so they weren't able to see beyond that. Like Teen Mom was going to be a thing, and Instagram, all these different things.
No.
So like that has to be really hard. Like that really has to be incredibly hard.
And I honestly, like, she can say it till she's blue in the face. I genuinely think that she regrets it. With
Oh
where
yeah.
they are now, I think
Yeah.
that, because like even in that article that I sent you today, it was, I
Mhm.
don't regret putting Carly up for adoption, but I regret the parents that I gave her to, adopted her to, or chose, the parents
Mhm.
that I chose. There you go. We got there. We got there. But yeah, I don't think that's true. I think that she regrets giving Carly up for adoption, but at the same time understands that it was their only option at that point. Cuz could you
Yeah.
imagine that baby going home to that environment?
No.
They
It was so
they
toxic.
they almost didn't survive it. Let's be realistic here.
No. That they're as well-rounded as they are is honestly shocking whenever they had like was it April was the mom, right? And like the dad,
Butch.
Bert, not Bert,
Butch.
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 Butch, yeah. Yeah, Butch was something. But plus
Yeah.
like their parents like dated or married. There was a lot going on at that
They
family.
did.
A lot. And so it was the best decision. Like there was just no way for them to know what was around the corner. But for her to go and say, like, I don't regret it, but I regret the parents. That's Carly's parents. Literally, day one, they handed her over the baby, and that's her parents. Like, you might not like it, but almost like circling it back to the whole where we started Abby Fickley. Like, she's like, I'm not going to badmouth anyone in my daughter's life. And I feel like she's like said certain things that were like, you can kind of like read between the lines, but in general, like, she doesn't. And I'm sure she could. You don't badmouth the parents or in your kids' lives. Like, if there's other parents where the
Especially
situation is. And
publicly.
yeah, I just don't know like what they were expecting with that, but I really do think that they're just like, well, Carly's going to come back to us at 18 and it's like, no time will have passed. But I also like don't know what she was expecting because I feel like with open adoption, it's never where it's like constant communication. If you get like a visit a year and then maybe like an update at Christmas time or a birthday, but like otherwise like
Yeah.
it's not like daily chat. It's just not how it is. It'd be really confusing for the child, if
Yeah.
anything.
Well, and that's just it. And Carly is a teenager now, and we have to think like
Mhm.
if she wanted to
Mhm.
reach out to Catelynn and Tyler, if she wanted to be a part of their lives, she would be. She would be able to make that decision. And
Mhm.
I don't know. I feel like Brandon and Teresa are pretty conservative, if I remember correctly, like
Yeah.
religious conservative. But I don't feel as though they would put those blockades in place. However, Catelynn and Tyler in the beginning did push the limits of what they shared with Carly, and they
Yes.
kept sharing things despite being told not to. So it's like Again, what did you think was going to happen? What was the end goal here?
I do remember that where like Brandon and Teresa were just very early on. We're like, we don't want Carley to really be brought up. We don't want her to be shown. We just don't want that. Like, please respect that. And they didn't. They really didn't respect it in the beginning and for a while. And they still don't. I mean, clearly they still don't. I just think like had they have just like taken a step back and just been like, we're gonna abide by the rules. Like we would like to see her once a year, an update, but like we're gonna step back. Everything that we see on the show, at least, and like what we're seeing and certain choices that they make. Like I feel like Brandon and Teresa probably look at them as kind of like a train wreck. Like I'm not sure what you mean, but they've made a lot of decisions that the best thing we can do right now is just sort of keep it separate. But I think you're right. Like I think that genuinely, if Carley wanted to, they're not going to be like, no, you know?
No, I don't see that. And of course, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, right? And we never
No.
will. I feel like Catelynn and Tyler are suffering the consequences of the decisions they made and the lack of boundaries, the lack of respect. And how is trashing her parents going to make them want to expose their daughter to you more? It just, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
No, I just don't know like what her end game was with that. And like, I always like liked them the most at first, but just over the years, certain things like they're saying and doing, I'm just like, yeah, I don't hate them, but I'm just, I think what they think is like, we're going to have all these receipts out there of just how much we tried, how much we fought for her. But all Carley's going to see are two people who were bad mouthing and trashing her parents for years and years and years on end. That's all she's going to see.
And the only parents she knows.
Exactly.
It's not like this is a step parent situation. It's not where there was like a divorce and there's a new, it's not anything like that. Like it's her parents, her mom and dad.
Yeah.
And
100%.
I don't know. I don't know. It's so messy. And I also had a lot of respect for Catelynn and Tyler because at 16, could you imagine making that kind of decision, going through with pregnancy? You know, I'm pretty sure Catelynn still ended up dropping out of school and graduating late and all that. And she gave her baby up, for goodness sakes. I couldn't imagine. And I understand why they are emotionally immature and handling stuff reactively because they're probably emotionally stunted at, 16, 17.
They never had good role models in their lives, like ever.
And that too.
And I just think some of the choices that they made, they just could have went about things differently. And this one might be a little bit controversial, but I just think as knowing that Brandon and Teresa, like I know that Teresa works at a religious private school. As you said, like they're conservative in their values, and Tyler joined OnlyFans. It's like, well,
and didn't they promote it on Insta?
They promoted on Insta, and he said how much Catelynn pushed him to do it, which is kind of weird to me. I don't know. But no matter what you think about OnlyFans,
it's a kink for some people. It is.
Yeah.
To each their own.
To each their own. Whatever you think about it. But the point is, like, if you're trying to like stack the cards in your favor, that wasn't a good choice. Like, did you really need that extra, or could you maybe figure out a different way to bring in that income? I don't know.
Well, like, is he even still doing it? Like, didn't it just like?
I think so.
Oh.
I think so, but I don't know like what he's doing on it. I couldn't really figure out like how far he's going, but he's still on it. And like that was probably the final straw for them. They're probably like,
that's what I was gonna say.
Because this was a couple years ago that he joined. And I feel like with the timeline, that really might have been like their final, no, we don't want this like in Carley's life. We want this kind of influence. And I don't blame them. That's just, there's too many things stacked in a row where it's like, come on, we've asked you for privacy. You're not giving that to us. We asked you not to bring her up. You're not doing that, or you are doing that. There's just, I feel like so many things where we're not seeing the whole story. I'm sure there's things we're missing. With what I'm 100%. Seeing, I'm like, I don't blame Brandon and Teresa. I'm sure they're just fed up. No matter what, even if the terms weren't 100% in place, no open adoption is going to be like, yeah, every single day, let's chat.
Well, even often, like you said earlier, a yearly update or whatever, a yearly meetup. Maybe like every 6 months an update, but no, it wouldn't be a daily thing. It wouldn't be this is what we did today with the kids that we kept.
I think you are right. Like, there's definitely some emotional stunting that went on. And I think it's also like you could even put a bigger conversation how reality TV can really stunt someone, because from 16, they were told, like, we need the drama, we need the things to get people to watch. And so, like, their life for over half their life now has been, we have to make the headlines, we have to make it more exciting, more
Yeah.
more drama filled. And so, like, they're creating their own drama at this point.
I mean, yeah, because they saw how the sausage was made, right?
Yeah.
I remember reading somewhere that the Teen Mom producers would facilitate drama and start
Yeah.
stuff. So there's a really interesting ethical conversation surrounding all of that. Like the Janelle clip. Oh, that was Teen Mom too, so you might not.
I know a little bit about Janelle. Is it like the dog thing?
No, the one with her and I think Kiefer passing out on the couch because they had done like meth or
Uh,
something crazy
yeah.
like that,
Mhm.
and the producers are
Mhm.
just sitting there filming it, and it's like, well, at the same time, they don't really have any power or authority to stop them, but do they? But it's just so unethical
Nobody
in
was
my
stepping
mind.
up for them. Yeah.
No, no,
Nobody was,
and they were
like,
just
being
letting
the
it happen.
the adult.
So I don't know. I don't know. It's such a mess. It's really sad.
It is sad. It's sad all around. And I think that you hit the nail on the head. She can say it till she's blue in the face, but she regrets that. How could she not? She had a child, like another child, like not even that long after that, that
It
she
was
still
only a
has.
couple
So, like,
years, wasn't it?
yeah, it wasn't that much longer. I do give Tyler and Catelynn credit for the choice that they made, and I do give them credit that they are still together and they seem to have a decent marriage. That's really good, honestly, for them being together as long as they have. I don't think there was ever any like cheating or anything like that. So credit where credit's due. Like that's good.
Definitely have 100% closed the adoption. I'm still blocked, and they recently told me to quit sending gifts because it was inappropriate and uncalled for. Just a whole bunch of things.
I'm sure that has to be the hardest decision someone could make, truly. And I
100%.
give people credit who do it, who say yes to the pregnancy and then, saying, okay, I'm not, for whatever my circumstances are, I can't handle this. And then to then go and make that decision too. Like, I give so much credit. But I just wish that someone in their life was just over the years guiding them more than what clearly didn't happen. Because I think had someone been there, even though they're like probably like what, 32 now, I think 32 or 33.
Yeah, something
Like,
like
I
that.
feel like we talked about, they're probably like have a emotional maturity level of like a 14 to 16-year-old. They need someone in their life to guide them, and they don't have that. And had someone been doing that for all these years, I think that they probably still would have a decent relationship with Brandon and Teresa. Like, I feel like they're too focused on Carley texting her. They're texting Teresa. They need to get through Teresa first to get to Carley, and they've ruined that bridge. Like, that bridge is just broken. And
Exactly,
I don't know
exactly.
if there's any healing at this point. Like, it might, I feel like they're just gonna have to wait it out now. They just need to, like, don't they're not gonna be watching this, but if they did, like, don't go and do any bashing on this podcast just to get clicks and views. Just don't even bring it up. Just literally
No,
don't say a word
don't.
about it.
Just stay far away from Carley and that whole topic, and just like don't. Just don't.
They won't though. You know that. Like, like, they know in their head that's what people are gonna be wanting them to talk about. And
Yeah.
so that's how their
It's
brain works. Like,
literally
clicks,
the
views.
only tea they have. It's the only tea
True.
they have. Let's be realistic. What are they going to talk about on a podcast weekly if they're not talking about something else? They're
Yeah.
just talking about their lives, like,
I just think it's kind of a bit of a cash grab.
because they're going to
It's just-
automatically have views and subscribers and stuff because they're already famous and they're already this and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So yeah, they're going to get the sponsorships right away and stuff like that. It's totally the next money making thing.
Yeah. Because I feel like everyone in Hollywood, but like, it's always like the next step, like a podcast for all these people who are in like once the TV show kind of slows down or ends.
Yeah.
Like, okay, a podcast now. And it's like, well, the difference is that on a reality TV show, like we talked about, there's someone behind the camera setting up plot lines. Whereas
Exactly.
to make it more interesting than what it probably really is. Whereas on a podcast,
Exactly.
you just have each other to kind of bounce back and forth on. And so they probably are going to talk about that because like it's like the only thing that they really have that's people are going to be like wanting to hear about.
Exactly. What a mess. And they're 32. They're born in 92. They're my age.
Yeah, I thought they were around 32 just because if she's 16, if Carly's 16, then 16 years ago. Isn't it wild? So,
That's crazy.
which we can close out if you want like a little quick segment about with 16 and pregnant and teen mom. We were the target demographic.
Yeah.
And in a way, if the whole entire point of the show was to reduce the rate of teen pregnancy, then we were in high school, so we were the demographic. But I feel like for me, if they would have just stuck with 16 and pregnant before Instagram or influencing ever came around, that was just like maybe a couple seasons show, it could have really made an impact. Like you just follow one
Yeah.
mom and that's it. It's like you really saw, I remember like episodes where Farrah was like working at a pizza shop and like if you it's like, wow, that would be really hard. But where it changed was whenever Teen Mom came in and it wasn't
True.
really the hardships, it was more the drama and the dating. And remember like Macy had like a boyfriend named, he had like blonde hair. Remember
Kyle.
him, like Kyle or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's just like drama and stuff, and then they started making money, and I think that
And
honestly probably did.
that potato cheated on Macy. Just
Yeah.
saying. So like, yikes.
I never saw the appeal of Kyle. He just like he didn't even seem like that great of a guy. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like, well, he seems like a really, like it's just like I don't get that, but. I don't know, like Dr. Drew likes to say that it did statistically go down. I'm like, I don't think it was your show doing that then, quite frankly, because if anything, like we hear people like Jess Pham who say that that show influenced her to become a teen mom because she wanted to live that kind of life and like the money, you know.
So I agree with you. I think that 16 and pregnant could have been really powerful and it would have reduced things, and because that really shows like the hardship of the struggle of being pregnant and the judgment and the stigma and what am I going to do and the little bit of struggle afterwards. Whereas Teen Mom started on the glamorizing it all.
Yeah.
Right. And then
I feel like I was going to say 16 and pregnant was more like gritty, raw, real. Teen Mom was just more like set up scripts and lines. I feel like we'll talk about Teen Mom again, but we can't end this without talking about Ryan a little bit.
Oh my God.
There's so much to say. He could be his own episode where we could really break down everything about Ryan. He will be his own episode
because like we should do like a Ryan deep dive because wow, you want to talk train wreck?
I remember whenever that show came out, 16 and Pregnant, and I thought he was so cute.
He's so hot. But he is. He still is hot.
He was.
Well, okay, the drugs got a little better. Damaged him. Yes. Agreed.
He was like super cute.
Yeah.
But he had like gauges in his ears, and I was like, wow, he's a really deadbeat dad. He seems like a total loser, but he's really cute. Like I get like why I understand why she dated him. But then like his personality was so bad. His mom babied him, still does so badly. And then like the drug, he'd just be like nodding off whenever like midday. And I think he's a little bit better. Like the last picture, I was like, oh, maybe he stopped the drugs for a while. I don't know, but he just
like when they were driving to the wedding, right? And he was like passing out at the wheel. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, there's been many times. So.
Okay. Fair.
I don't know if that was the time or not, but I feel like there's been many times where he's just like he's slurring his words, and his mom is his biggest, what would be the word? Enabler.
Yeah. Exactly. 100%. She babies him and enables him for sure. I just I don't know how you could possibly defend your son who went and trashed his ex-wife's house. I don't know how there's coming back from that and defending it. He trashed it.
He did, and he just made so many bad choices. And I remember the very early Teen Mom, Macy was the first mom on there, and he was a jerk to her whenever she was pregnant. And
he was awful.
Yeah, and I feel like he's just gotten a lot of second chances with Macy that he didn't deserve, and not romantically, just in general. If it was me, I'd be like, I'm done with you. You're not even gonna be in my life. I'm not gonna stop our kid from being in your life. Wasn't it he didn't show up to the birthday party, multiple birthday parties or something like that? And I don't know. And then he has multiple baby mamas now.
One coming that he's engaged to. Yeah, it's rough.
I feel bad for the kids, but not for the moms, because his life is literally online since he was a teenager. Or on TV online, what you are getting into. I'm not even sure why.
And exactly, especially this newest girl. I don't even know what her name is, but especially her, he has a track record of being a deadbeat dad, and what you think you're going to change him, you're not going to change him.
No.
You're not going to change him. It doesn't work that way, especially because, you know, other people have thought the same thing and been proven wrong. It's just such a mess. They're little clout goblins, and they just want their 15 minutes of fame, so they latch onto Ryan, even though it's like, why would you do that to yourself? You're ruining your entire life, the rest of your life, for 15 minutes of fame. Doesn't sound very worth it.
You're piggybacking off of Macy to Ryan to this mom. Like, you're literally, it's like such second, third, fourth hand fame you're getting for like 15 minutes. You might get a couple extra thousand Instagram followers. Like, is it really worth it?
Because no one cares about Ryan, they care about Macy. Like,
no.
I think we covered everything we needed to cover, wanted to cover.
Yeah.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Are we going to say bye?
I think so.
Okay. But I think this went okay.
Yes.
This went okay.
I think so. I'm happy with it.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.